Hello everyone and welcome to Moonride, where we're channeling the moon. My name's Dave Johnson, and I am getting a real strong George Floyd feeling this morning. I can't really stop thinking about this. I do feel like George is knocking on the door. So I'm going to do something a little bit unusual and just see what he's got to say. It's interesting. It's like I'm sitting in a movie theater and there's a projector behind me. Oh, he's showing me what happened. Okay. Oh, well, first of all, he had no idea that the $20 bill he was spending, he had no idea that it was Confederate money. He didn't know that it was a fake. So he, among other things, really wasn't doing anything wrong. He had been drinking, so there were some small mistakes that he made. He probably shouldn't have been drinking in public, but, that's, among other things, that's not a crime. He wasn't really doing anything wrong. His only, crime was really just kind of existing. And that's obviously not a crime. He was somewhat aimless in his life. He didn't really know what his purpose was in his life. He had often encountered the police in a very negative situation, so he carried a reasonable amount of fear of them. And he was often in their sights because he was often on the streets. So much of this is just a function of the fact that he was there. He was just there. He is angry. He, on the other side, has not yet forgiven these police people. He's showing me that he's angry, he's mad, and in a way, I think this is a very good thing. I think he's inspired all of us to get angry, and he wants us to get angry. These injustices continue, and it continues to be that they are not addressed. What else did you want to tell me here? He says, yes, that's the heart of the matter, right? He's like, that's the center point of what is going on here for us, is that we have been, his death has one value, and that is that it's inspiring us to get angry and to look at what's happening and to say that it's wrong. The evidence is so overwhelming. So tell us, what would you like the world to know? Sometimes you do have to peacefully fight injustice. You do have to get mad. There's nothing wrong with getting angry if you're channeling this anger in a positive way. He would like to see people protesting this in a peaceful way. He would like to see the police held accountable. There are hundreds and hundreds of other people that he knows, even in that one city, who have been victimized largely because of their race. And, on an ethical, moral plane, this has got to stop. And if there's one thing that he could do, it would be to let us all know that this is really happening to people all the time, and not only of Black people often, but not only that the police take advantage. Nobody's filming, and no one believes the victims of these crimes. Nobody ever knows. So we have to spotlight these things, and that's one reason why this happened. That's one sacrifice that he made, George Floyd, is to give his life to get us all to pay attention to this. There's some degree where he wants us to act. He's showing me acting. But there's also a point at which we will be relieved, a point at which he will feel that something has been done, and then he will be ready to move on in consciousness. He's not on the other side yet. He still hangs around. He still wants to see justice done. He feels very bad also for his family having witnessed this. And in some sense, he does hold himself a little bit responsible. Perhaps he could have been, a better citizen and, not so much in the limelight. So he feels bad that that this has caused so much pain to his family. On the other side, he's not feeling any pain. So it's not about that. It's about pain to others that he's witnessing. He wants us to pay attention to this. And, he appreciates the people that were filming this and the people that came forward. Those people are good and honest and really should be praised for witnessing this and trying to help in the way that they could, even though they couldn't really help during the encounter because the police were there stopping them. Is there anything else you'd like to tell people? The fact that people are focusing on this and care about this really brings tears of joy to George Floyd. He knows at least now people care about him and people care about other humans. That's more important to him right now than anything. Even if even if these police aren't punished in the way that they ought to be, he feels at least that people have shown up, people care, there's a light on the issue, and things will be different in the future to some degree because we are really focusing on these events. Well, I'm kind of getting a message for Biden. What would you like Biden to do? Biden's doing a good job showing an example by hiring people who look like everybody, by not saying nasty things about minorities. This is a really important thing. The moral sort of gestalt of this country. America is one that sets an example for the world. Biden is setting an example. He's also mentioning that Biden's doing and going to do pretty well, and maybe even very well. What would you like him to do about this? He's got to come out and strongly state that we need to change the way that the police operate. This is not to say that all police people are bad. There are plenty of police forces where they don't have any of these incidences. And it wouldn't be a bad idea to praise those police forces that don't have these incidents come about and to point them out to show that some police forces are perfectly capable of behaving in a legal and rational and gentle way. He would just, Biden can't do everything, but he can come out and make very strong statements. He appears to be waiting until after the trial because it's not, president is not supposed to influence a trial. But ultimately, he would really appreciate it if Biden came out and made very strong statements about this, and not just statements, but followed it up. And there's many people in the police force that oppressed him that need to be fired. Not just Chauvin, but a lot of other people. His boss, the people covering it up. There are others who should bear some responsibility. They knew who he was. They knew who Chauvin was. They had many complaints about him beforehand. They witnessed many acts of discrimination, and they should not be let off the hook. There could be some kind of a national mandate, and ultimately that's what's going to happen for this to stop. It's going to have to be managed somehow from a federal level, because individual pockets of the country are not interested in being egalitarian. Okay, is there anything more you want to tell us? If you act peacefully to try to change something wrong, it's an act of love. And we should see these as an act of love. Hiding away and pretending things aren't happening is not an act of love. It is a fearful act. Even if you do not succeed when you are pressing these issues, the important thing is that you made your statement, you tried, you did your best. History will record that you did that. Even if you were not ultimately successful, your soul will grow just because you did the right thing, even if you did not get a reward. Sometimes it's even, your soul grows even more if you did not get a reward, as long as you know that what you did was the right thing. There's a future where people will get along a lot better. There really is that future. And it will be helpful if you oppose what's wrong, but at the same time keep in mind that things can and will get better with a bit of work on all of our parts. They really will get better. In a few years, things will be much better in terms of just the social fighting that seems to be going on. We will enter a better time soon, within a couple of years. Thanks so much for watching.